Hi. So, once again, I'm in a place where I am like losing my mind, super stressed out, worried about stuff, which I think we're all kind of like that often. Anyways, but me, I'm delicate, I'm fragile. I have to take super extra good care of myself and I always need to find a way to try to cope with that and do it in a way where I don't feel like I'm annoying people or taking their time or whining or complaining or posting too much on Facebook or bogging my friends down with my own personal problems. In the past, I shared a lot with a very close friend of mine about issues I had with my dad, and she just texted me and she said, "I'm sorry, but I don't have the time to listen to all this. I can't get all these texts. My phone doesn't have unlimited texting." And so ever since then, I've kind of been really careful about who I vent to or who I share things in my life to or things that happen. And do I tell someone right away? Do I post on Facebook? Do I keep it to myself? And I think it's good. It's good to talk to people about things going on in your life, but not every day and not the same person every day. I call it regulating my vents. I gotta regulate my vents. Today I'm gonna share this part of my life with this person. Tomorrow maybe someone else. Maybe the next day I'll keep it to myself. If I can't handle it, I'll write it in a journal. Because, I mean, when so many bad things in your life are happening and you're depressed, just depressed and anxious to begin with, it it really affects you. So, yeah, this is another episode of Free Therapy. Yay! I actually have real paid professional therapy on Friday, but I just can't wait till then. I gotta do something. So, let's delve into it. Um, this morning when I woke up to my mom outside crying and saying ow, and she was in pain, and my first thought was like, oh my god, she fell down, she can't get up, she hurt herself, something bad happened, she's having a heart attack. Anxious thought everywhere, all over, like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening? And my mom has really bad knees, arthritis, she can barely walk, she uses a rollator, she can't really go to her doctor appointments alone. Um, she can't really, there's a lot of things she is unable to do. Anyways, so I run outside, my heart's pounding, and I'm like, oh my god, what's going on? And she turns around and her face is all bloody and there's blood running down, and I'm like, what happened? What's what's going on? I'm trying to see where the cut is, and she's just crying, and she's like, I tried to get my own cart out of the house, and then I fell down the steps and I hit my nose on the front of the cart. And I'm like, so first I think to myself, okay, so why are you not asking for help? Why are you trying to do this on your own? Then I'm like, where's my dad? I have all these questions, and I'm like, never, just forget that. Just try to help her. So, I try to get a rag and I put pressure on it. There's probably a 3 millimeter cut straight across the bridge of her nose, and it just looks bad because there's blood streaming down her face. And I'm like, I don't even remember what I said. I just felt fear, because every day I worry about her. I worry what's going to happen to her. I worry if my dad is going to take care of her. I worry about when I'm not here. I worry about if I don't live here in the future, like what's going to happen. Like, is he going to take care of her? Is he going to be sensible enough to know when he needs help, when he needs to call for 911? Is she going to be sensible enough to know when she needs to not do something herself, when she needs to ask for help? And like, I understand that it's hard to deal with losing your independence and having to ask for help, but that's why you need to, because if you don't, you might hurt yourself. She could have easily, like, hurt her eye. It was, like, very close to her eye. I mean, she could have fallen down the stairs. She could have fallen and not be able to get up. She could have hit her head. She could have... There's, like, so many things. If I focus on all of the things that could happen, I'll lose my mind. But the point is that she needs to ask for help. And she doesn't always ask for help, and I can't change her. I can't control what she does. I can only tell her how I feel. And if how I feel doesn't matter to her, then there's nothing I can do. So this, I never thought I would be dealing with the feelings of caregiving or a caregiver at the age of 24, but I am. I don't really have anyone I relate to at my age who is caregiving. My therapist is caregiving, but she's a lot older than I am. And it's just a constant worry. And it doesn't help that every day I have thoughts about how everyone I love is going to die someday and how I'm going to lose everybody I love, and it could happen at any time. I'm not really sure if that's normal for someone to think about every day, but sometimes I think about it every day, sometimes more than once a day, and sometimes I can't stop thinking about it, and it turns into an obsessive, intrusive thought. But I'm dealing with it. I'm able to just think of it one time and then move on from it and be like, well, I think about this every day and it's a possibility, but I'm not going to focus on it right now. Because it's not healthy. But when little things like this happen, it does make it a lot harder to deal with. But yeah, I love my mom, and I want her to be safe, and I don't want her to get hurt, and I want her to be happy and well taken care of, and I'm sure that's what everybody wants for their mom or whoever they love. Um, I don't know. So moving on from that, an ongoing issue I'm dealing with. Kind of nervous. It's easy to like worry about other people, but then when you have to worry about yourself, it's like, what the fuck? What do I do? I'm having this like I've had this like chronic health issue like the past 5 years, and it keeps getting worse and worse. Like during my period, I have unbelievable severe pain, like the worst pain I've ever had in my life, like worse than a broken ankle, worse than getting my wisdom teeth out awake, worse than getting a liver biopsy awake, worse than waking up from surgery. Like, it's really bad pain, and it shouldn't be that bad. I mean, your period's supposed to be painful, but it's not supposed to be to the point where you're crumpled on the floor dying. So, you know, I would go to the doctor, and I would tell them what I was going through, my pain, and they would do tests and an ultrasound, and they wouldn't find anything, and that was probably, it happened twice the past 5 years. And then finally, most recently, I had another ultrasound, and they found that the lining to my uterus is too thick, which is not good, because that could mean that could put me at risk for cancer and other issues. So I got an appointment with a specialist or gynecologist or whatever, and I'm not really sure what they're going to tell me, but I assume they're going to talk about my options and the risks, and What to do? I don't really want to take birth control because birth control basically makes it so I have no libido. It makes me numb. It makes my depression worse. The blood clot risks. There's a lot of reasons I don't want to take birth control, but I'd rather, I guess if it comes down to birth control, taking birth control or getting cancer, I guess I'll take birth control. Another thing I've been told is that they can go in and they can burn part of your uterus or clean part of it off or something. If it's really bad, they can just remove it completely. But since I'm so young, they probably won't because they think that I might have children someday. But just because of the amount of pain and trouble I've had with my reproductive organs, I doubt that I would ever consciously make that decision. If I was pregnant, of course I would keep the baby, but I would take precautions to not get pregnant because, to be honest, ever since I can remember, I felt if I got pregnant that I would die. So that I don't know, that would be a really horrible twist on life if I got pregnant and died, but um where is this even going? I don't have plans to ever have my own children. I really like children, but I am not ready to take care of another human being, and I'm not sure I ever will be, but if I ever am, I wouldn't want them to have my genetics or my mental illnesses that I have to deal with. I wouldn't wish that on anybody, and I'd feel horribly, horribly guilty if I knew that I had passed that on to my child. Adoption is something I consider, but that wouldn't be for a very long time. I still feel like I am a kid, and I'm not ready for that. So go ahead and take my uterus. I don't care. So yeah, I'm nervous about that. I'm not used to having to really worry about myself. Sometimes in my mind, I try to pick the worry that's easiest to worry about. Let me repeat that again. Let me hear what I just said. Sometimes in my mind, I try to pick the worry that's easiest to worry about. But right now, I don't know which one it is. So, yeah. What? What? So, I try to just take it one day at a time. Today I'm actually going to a concert. Later tonight, I'm seeing Ailstorm and Nekogabakon in Minneapolis, and I'm nervous about driving there and finding parking and surviving in a club scene alone. But I've done it before at other clubs, so I should be fine. It's good for me to get that kind of exposure. So, yeah. Usually the idea of doing something is a lot worse than when you actually do it, because your imagination, well, my imagination anyway, is way more morbid than reality is. So, yeah. I did ask one of my friends from work to come with, but he has to work and he couldn't find anyone to work for him, so he's stuck at work feeling sad, and I'm stuck going alone feeling anxious, but I'm sure everything will work out just fine. But yeah, my therapy is Friday at 8 a.m. before I have to go to work, so I'm hoping that I can drag my ass out of bed around 6 to get ready to leave at 7. And yeah, this isn't sounding like it'll work, but I'm gonna try. All that matters is that I try. Yeah. that's pretty much what's going on with me. Um, yep. I'm trying to think of like if I have anything else I need to talk about, but it's not. I must have gotten it all out of my system because I can't really think of anything. So, okay. Well, thanks for listening if you listened, and I'm sorry you had to listen to all that whining. Anyways, I hope you have a good day. Okay. Bye.